Ooh. Shoot.
All right. There we go. That was pretty cool, I thought. Okay. In a world ruled by literally millions of games and ever rising game prices, quality gaming on a budget can seem almost impossible. Welcome to the Nexus Roundtable, where we will show you not only that you can game on a budget, but you can enjoy quality gaming. Today we are reviewing Evil Genius 2. Stay tuned as I, Karsa, KKWX, Bales, and Bullhead analyze Evil Genius 2 based on 5 criteria: art and graphics, game controls, gameplay, ingenuity, and overall rating. When we're done, we'll let you know whether this is a stud or a dud. But before we get to the review, let's do some introductions, streaming updates, and let's talk a little bit about the world of gaming news as it is of right now. Starting with Bales. Hi, Bales.
Hello. I'm Bales. I stream a variety of games. As far as my streaming this week goes, I've kind of taken a little time off to focus on a charity event that I'm working with Carson and Bullhead on. So I've been focused on writing, which is something that I am contributing to this project with. So while I haven't been as active as I usually like, I will return to it in the next week or so.
Excellent. Thank you. Bullhead, how about you?
Hello. Hi, Bullhead. I'm also a variety streamer and joining the charity stream on the 6th with Carcer and Bailey. This week I'm actually getting over being sick, so I haven't really been doing much, but hopefully I can still throw my contributions in and be a helpful friend.
Well, it looks like we've been all having a little bit of a hard week. I also have been having some issues as my own personal issues, but I've been streaming. I am a variety streamer. I stream Space Engineers, Minecraft, a little bit of any type of survival, some strategy games, and things like that. And I also play the games that we're going to be playing for review on my stream. So, if you don't know who we are, you do now. And let's get a little bit of an idea of what's going on in the gaming news.
There's been a lot that happened this week, primarily starting with the Pokemon Presents that was, I think, announced last Friday for Sunday, which was kind of shocking to get such short news on a Pokemon Presents. And it was pretty massive. They announced, a minor update for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, sort of a mystery gift of a shaman, which you could take. They also announced that Pokemon Unite is getting a new Pokemon, Hoopa, and that they're currently working on Duraludon for the future. I can't say as I know too much about those two Pokemon, but I know that Pokemon Unite's been a pretty big hit for Pokemon fans and MOBA fans alike. Pokemon Arceus got a free update, which I think all of us are happy to see. The game has been a ton of fun to play, and a lot of the changes that they made for the game, I kind of hope stick around. Most specifically, their changes to the EV and IV system. I feel like those changes are fantastic, and the ability to catch a Pokemon without battling it, that's quite fun. But their latest update includes what would normally be a DLC quest thing, and it's called Daybreak. And basically what it does is it creates a quest line of mass outbreaks, which I have to wonder if that's like Massception or something like that. I'm not certain. But that wasn't the biggest news of their event. The biggest news of their event was the announcement of Gen 9 Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. There's not much known about it. We've seen the character models for the Pokemon trainers, and I like them. But I've seen a little controversy over the way that the eyes are shaped, which just seems kind of silly to me, but they have changed. They've gone from being these vertical ovals to being normal eyes. Can't imagine why we would want normal eyes. But they also announced the 3 starters. And as a cat person, my whole life, I got so excited because not only am I a cat person, but my favorite type of Pokemon is the leaf type. For those of you who pop into my stream, you know that I have a focus on Bayleaf, and that is because Chikorita was my first Pokemon starter. And so to find out that not only is the cat starter going to be the grass type, it was just like the best thing ever for me, and I hope they don't ruin it with the evolutions. But the name of the grass type starter is Sprigatito, and I kind of want to break that down just a little bit. Obviously, like, English speakers know that a sprig is like a small branch or piece of an herb, and in Spanish, the word gato means cat. I'm sure most of us know that. And you can change any word in Spanish, or any noun pretty much in Spanish, by adding the ending ito to it to mean little. So Sprigatito in Spanish would be like little herb cat. And I find that interesting because obviously it's a little cat. And I wonder if that has any impact. And that is furthermore like compounded with the fire type that they brought out. Fuecoco is a fire crocodile starter, and nowhere near as cute as Sprigatito. Just throwing that out there. Not biased, I swear. In Spanish, the word fuego means fire, and coco is the start of the word for crocodile. So Fuecoco would be fire crocodile. What doesn't make a lot of sense in Spanish is their third one. The third starter is Quaxly, which is a water duck. Would have been interesting to see a fire duck, just throwing that out there. We already have Psyduck. A fire duck would have been cool. We didn't get it. Move on. But as I understand it, Quax is a slang term for a male goose. So we could go that route with the duckling, I suppose. But I would have really liked to see a little tie-in with Spanish on that one, because the titles Scarlet and Violet in the Spanish Civil War, Scarlet and Violet were colors on the flags of each side of the war. So I really have this feeling that like Scarlet and Violet's going to take place in Spain. And they could have tied that in with Quaxly. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. Just a little bit. So yeah, I'm super excited about the announcement of the Gen 9 games. I really hope they learn something from Pokemon Arceus and the successes that they've had. Have either of you played either Pokemon Arceus or Sword and Shield?
No, I don't own any type of console, so I only have PC. But I watch it on
Sure.
on Twitch all the time because I go to see some of my friends and they're either playing something of Pokemon, and I've watched quite a bit of it. And I find it kind of interesting and exciting.
Bullhead, have you had the opportunity to play any of the latest Pokemon entries?
Oh yeah, I beat the main story on Sword. I didn't do any post game.
Sure.
And then
Okay.
not too long ago, I beat the main story on Arceus.
Fantastic. So, at least the two of you will maybe be able to weigh in a little on this. As somebody who's been playing Pokemon since Gold and Silver, there are a lot of things I have loved about some of the spin-offs and the remakes that they've done. Like, I loved the ability to catch Pokemon by using motion commands in the Let's Go series, and I was really hoping to see another entry in that series, but it appears that we haven't moved forward with that. What we have moved forward with from that game is the idea of generalized party experience, and I really hope that continues moving forward because it was kind of a grind in the earlier games to try to level each Pokemon individually, and the Let's Go, Sword and Shield, and Arceus have all had party experience, and I hope they keep that up with the new entry.
I think they will. I mean, there's a lot of new changes they made in Arceus that I think should stick.
Mm-hmm.
One being how you capture Pokemon now.
Oh, absolutely.
I think just I wouldn't say maybe hardware limitations, but like I think that when they made that change to being able to like hide and capture Pokemon, it felt like you would truly like this is what Pokemon was meant to be like.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think they confirmed that the new ones are just gonna the Scarlet and Violet are gonna be just like it's gonna be like Arceus, where you get to run around and capture Pokemon like that in open world.
That would be great.
So I think they're going to stick to that, which I think is a welcome. Well, I want to say a lot of people would enjoy it, but I think it's a welcome change.
Sure.
Well, looking at it in a viewer's point of view, when I watch you guys do your streams and talk about Pokemon and see Arceus and all that, I would like it to be that way, where they allow it to go running around and get the story to go along with it. So.
Well, they simplified. Like they made the things a lot more simple, which I think.
Yeah.
Bailey, she mentioned the EVs and the IVs. Like that changes what they did in Arceus. I think was basically amazing because it simplified everything, but also it let you, if you wanted to, find a way to grind out extra stats for your Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Or the team experience was really almost necessary because I don't think I played during Red and Blue. Like those were my main days, like when I started, and I don't believe we even had an experience share back then. And then it was introduced
to Gold and Silver.
It might have been, but it's like it's lovely, but there's only so many trainers you can fight in these games back then, and then the grass Pokemon don't give as much experience. So going through like Arceus and just being able to have like I wouldn't even say one Pokemon because you still want to level everyone evenly.
Mm-hmm.
But just being able to like just get that extra experience from just fighting with a different Pokemon it's so beneficial and enjoyable. It made things, think of a word, smooth, engaging. It was very like it was a smooth ride like through,
Right.
You didn't really get too overwhelmed with things, and it was just like you got to focus more on like what you wanted to capture, and you got to look at where you were going and enjoy the view and everything like that.
There are a few things certainly that I enjoyed. The first thing that I really enjoyed was getting caught off guard for the first time with fall damage. I'm pretty certain when I tell you that my first death was when I decided to take a leap off Pride Rock, you're going to know exactly where I'm talking about. I saw the giant cliff and I had just gotten weirder, and I'm like, oh, I have to try this. And I jumped off that cliff and my character passed out and I lost my satchel. So,
no!
Kind of an interesting experience, but I think most importantly, like the biggest thing I hope they take from Arceus is dynamic Pokédex and trace. Uh, Not just having, hey, did I catch the Pokemon or not? Like, it was so cool and engaging. Like, I have put close to 60 hours into the game so far, and probably should be ashamed to admit it, but I have barely entered the second area. I have maxed out, I don't know, 15, 16 Pokemon or something like that, entries on the Pokédex, um,
Wow.
including all of the evolutions. So
I
I
have
got
to say, I'm jealous. I would love to play the game.
it's great. I'm grateful that they came out with it and they decided to take a risk. And in my opinion, their risks paid off. Um, Another thing I was grateful for was not having to buy every single Pokeball that I needed. Obviously, the later in the game that I got, the more that I just wanted to buy the Pokeballs because I had the money for it, and it just wasn't worth grinding out the materials. But early on in the game, that's always a difficult thing. Like, you have to consider what Pokemon can I catch based on how many Pokeballs you can afford. And that wasn't a problem here.
All right.
Oh no, it was
So,
genius.
yeah. Okay, is there any game that you have found interesting, Bullhead, of this week?
Okay, I've been. I put in stupid amount of hours in Elden Ring,
Ah,
and
that's another one I liked of you.
yeah, I haven't. Well, I've been sick, so I just been like sleep kind of playing it whenever I can't like stay asleep. But I was just because I started my Dark Souls experience back when Dark Souls 2 came out, right? Because the
Right.
games FromSoft made a lot of games before then, like before the Soul series per se. Well, they had that one game. Oh my, I forgot the name of it. It was on PlayStation. But yeah, I started from like the second, and then I played the third, and then you have to get into the older ones, and I feel like they hit the ball out of the park with this one. Just the slew of options you get, like especially exploration wise, like because you're free to go anywhere in this game. Beyond maybe some story places that you can't get into without like actually doing story stuff, which is okay because you don't have to necessarily go there. But just like what I've been enjoying, because I haven't gone far in the story. I've made about 15, 20 different characters and deleted them all so far. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
always finding something. I'm finding something somewhere every time I go someplace, right?
Right.
And I always want to try different builds, and I just, oh man, it's so amazing, and I hope other people can like just share this experience of just being able to, like, if you like exploring, like I know the games are tough, right? And a lot of people think online a lot of people have been like complaining about the difficulty, and it like needs an easy mode, and there's been like arguments and stuff about that. But I've been I've been enjoying every bit of this game, and I don't know if you two saw much about it. Right. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting.
it's all about a
I bought this
budget.
without thinking. That's a me thing. I bought this without, because I was originally gonna, because I use GameFly,
Uh-huh.
um, and it's like a monthly thing, and I choose two. You can choose two games, and you basically rent them out. Right. So they send them to your house. You can play them, and then when you're done, you send them back, and then you can choose other games to play, and you can choose from like the Switch. That's how I'm playing Pokemon right now. But I decided to get this game on there, but I forgot to lock the game in to get it on release, and I ended up buying it.
Oh,
So I bought it.
wow.
I bought it without thinking because I hyped myself up about this game for so long. So I bought it without thinking, and forgot that not everyone can
That's
just dish
cool.
out the
Yeah,
this, and I bought, yeah. So I was like, it's unfortunate. Like, it sucks that not everyone can play it, but I
but
hope
No,
at some point, like, it gets released maybe on something, like as a service. Maybe
mhm,
I think PlayStation's gonna have their version
mhm.
of Game Pass eventually. So maybe
Maybe
this might
eventually.
might show up there.
There
They
is
do.
actually some news that Minecraft might be going to Steam. So we'll see if that works. If there will be a Game Pass for that.
There is a PlayStation service. It's it's called PlayStation Now.
PlayStation Now.
Yeah, they're
Unfortunately,
combining it.
it doesn't work like Game Pass does. Like in Game Pass, you download the game to your console and you play it, but
Mm-hmm.
on PlayStation, you stream the game instead of downloading it. So there are a lot of issues with that where, if your internet service is not quite as good, or, you have a lag in service for a little while, it can really affect your gameplay.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't think it's as worth as Game Pass is, but I think I saw on Twitter that some people are having their PS Plus and PlayStation Now things combine.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what they're looking forwards in the future.
And yeah, so I think in the future they might really release. Well, they're gonna do it because they're gonna have to keep up with Game Pass, but they're eventually gonna release like a PlayStation version of Game Pass. So hopefully, some good exclusives can eventually be played uh,
I think
on a version of that.
Yeah.
I think I could be mistaken, but I think Game Pass has about 100 games, and I would say that about a third of them are probably high quality games.
Not a lot, but like you do get some
PlayStation
access.
PlayStation has like over 1,000 games on PlayStation now, uh, but I would say that the quantity of quality games on the PlayStation Now service is probably equal to the number of quality games on the Game Pass. So reality, like Game Pass may be operating at 33%, but uh, a PlayStation might be operating at like 5% quality games. So, you know, just a thought process with that one.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Game Pass is also still growing too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like it's been out, but it's just recent that they started making changes like these to Game Pass. So
Mm-hmm.
Before we
What's your
move
note?
on to the game review, Carsa, I had just a couple of things coming up. I think everybody should be aware of,
Mm-hmm.
especially like AAA titles. Obviously, for those who are fans of either Octopath or Final Fantasy or just tactical strategy games in general, Project Triangle Strategy released today for the Nintendo Switch. I don't think it released anywhere
Ooh.
else, but it should eventually, considering that it's a Square Enix title, and so that will probably release elsewhere in a few upcoming months. Chocobo Grand Prix will be releasing on March 10th. That is basically Final Fantasy meets Mario Kart. And that does kind of look fun, but it's not really my type of thing to play. More likely I'll watch it. Hopefully somebody's better than I am. I'm super stoked about Rune Factory 5 coming out on March 22nd. I will probably pick that up in April. It's a great game in the Sim series. It's a great combination of RPG and farming sim.
Ooh.
They seem to have added some great changes for quality of life in the series. So I'm excited to see that when it comes out. I would say that probably Karsa and I are most interested in Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Yes.
I am so excited about that game. I don't really know too much about it because they haven't released as much information as I'd like. I would say I've heard that the customization options for your character look are immense, which I guess can be a super positive for a lot of people. For me, I kind of just want to have a character and move forward, get into the game.
I just like the Dungeons and Dragons part of it. I thought it was really cool.
I like the concept of the Dungeons and Dragons things, but I'm a little nervous about the addition of guns.
True.
Because I'm afraid like guns are going to outclass every other weapon in the game, and that kind of I worry about the balance with that. But they've had some time to work on that, and people have voiced that concern before.
Well, far as for that, the D&D, there has been, even in Pathfinder, there has been a change, and I do a lot. If you guys don't know already, I do a lot of campaigns, D&D, Pathfinder, things like that. In fact, we're doing a Starfinder every Monday on my stream, and we're doing a Pathfinder on Sunday for this special lymphedema. So if you want to go, it's 10 o'clock Central Time, where we're going to talk about lymphedema using Pathfinder. However, what I was going to say is that in Pathfinder they have just brought up about the gunslinger, and it's gone through playtest, it's done that, and they've actually are starting to use it, and it will be used. It will be used on Sunday to see what the difference is. So when you were talking about the balance of that I can understand.
Yeah.
I think in regular D&D you can still use guns, but they're really powerful.
Yeah, they are.
But
They're boomsticks.
Pretty much. But also, like, it's also Borderlands, so they
kind of had to have guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't like, that's like their shtick, right?
Yeah.
I think it was like Borderlands 3, like they hyped up like billions and billions and billions of weapons you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, because I'm gonna be getting it as well through GameFly.
Yeah.
So you guys just reminded me to go to GameFly.
Oh,
get my game lock.
I'm hoping to get it. I can't promise myself this, but I'm hoping to get it someday soon. So yeah, I'm hoping. But I do have some things to say for me. If you guys haven't noticed, Valheim has done a recent update and brought in some new things. I am excited to find out about that, and I'm going to be playing it on my stream as well. And Icarus has finally got it to so that you can do a respec, which is good. And they've changed the update on the talents on that as well. They put in a few new missions, so if you like Icarus, you know, if you want to watch it, you can watch it on my stream a lot. If you like Icarus, that's some things that you need to know. But the one thing I don't like about what they've done on Icarus is they've made it so that you have to pay for the respec.
Pay to win.
No, pay through gold to win.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You gotta do missions to respec.
I think that's fair though. You should have to earn a respec. It shouldn't just be given to you.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna have to be paid. But there are some missions that are better than others. The ones I like the best is the stockpiles, as well as I've recently been playing a lot of the you build a base, and one of them is the lifeline construction, the construction ones that are really good, and they give good money. And if you know where to find the exotics, they give you really good money. So.
Alright. Well, I think I have one last thing before I think we can get into the review.
Okay.
And I'm not a Kirby player. The last time I played Kirby, it was in Super Smash Brothers. So I have never actually played a mainline Kirby game. However, I did watch the announced trailer for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I have a bit of a gripe. And it's not really as big a gripe as some people might have, but in this, Kirby sucks up a vehicle, and I can't remember what they called it, but I was just so disappointed they didn't call it Kirby. Exactly.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed in that. I was like, you missed out on a golden opportunity. How did you not call it Kirby? So, yeah, but that's coming out on the 25th as well as Tiny Tina. So, yeah, if Kirby's your thing, know that you have something coming out to look forward to.
Oh, that's
Karsu,
that's exciting.
Have you had anything else?
No, I think I got all the ones that I wanted to bring up. How about you, Bullhead?
Oh, I talked a little about Emblem Ring. Barely she mentioned oh my god.
Angle strategy?
Thank you. I was gonna
Not
say
a problem.
Project Octo Traveler, and I'm like, that's not.
I mean, that's basically
not
what it
right.
is.
But yeah, I was going to talk about that. Kirby. I haven't played Kirby since Game Boy, so I'm not really an expert on that one. But The Valheim thing seems interesting
Yeah, you're
because I played
welcome
that
to
a long
join.
time ago.
You're definitely welcome to
Uh,
join.
and then I have to look up Icarus. I'm a sucker for survival games sometimes.
Well, join our group. We'll definitely have you come with us. We do if we're not doing it on stream, we are doing it in Discord, and people are welcome to watch it. But yeah, if you're welcome, you both are welcome to join.
Yeah,
Uh,
I may. Um, I'm going to start with Minecraft. Obviously, we've talked about playing that together,
absolutely,
so I have
absolutely.
focused a lot of energy into that last weekend. So I'm kind of looking forward to catching. I guess it'll have to be next weekend because we're doing our charity this Sunday.
Charity is more. Charity is this week. Yeah, but as you guys know, should know, is that Bales and I are going to be starting to do some Minecraft. She's going to my community Minecraft, and we're going to be playing together and starting to build stuff.
Yep.
So it'll be awesome.
If you have any interest in watching somebody do pretty much nothing but farming, please check out Sprout Tower, which is what I'm building right now.
And I'm building the Mage Tower.
Hey, at least you two can build. I'm good at digging.
Hey, you can dig. We got stuff to do. A plane. Play Townie. TownieSMP.com. There we go. I said it right. So, yeah. So we're definitely getting more and more involved with each other, and we're finding that we really have a camaraderie, and that's working out real well. We're just trying to figure out where we're going to take the podcast. So far, I like it the way it is today. Without further ado, though, let's get into the reason why we started this in the first place, and let's go into Evil Genius. Alright, we're going to start with you, Bullhead, because you basically were playing with the first part. And, so, let's talk about. Okay. Arts and graphics. Bullhead. Would you give it a star or no, and why?
I would. It has its own, like, they have their own specific look for this game, right? They have their own art direction they were going for, and the style, and it's still a good look. It's like, it's not a bad looking game, even though you spend a lot of your time like zoomed out pretty far away. But like when you get up close, like it's still nice looking. But I would still give it. I would give it a good star.
All right.
I didn't really have any complaints looking at. I didn't have any visual complaints. Those weren't my main concern. And I enjoyed it. So.
Okay. Bales, what about you? Arts and graphics.
You know, the thing is, like, as far as the arts and graphics go, this is a moment where I could say spectacularly unspectacular. There's nothing in it for me to take the star away from it, but there's nothing that stands out either. So I'm going to go ahead and give it the star in this case, but it just, you know, it didn't have any wow factors. It didn't have any cute throwbacks. It basically looked like every Sims game I've ever looked at, like Sims 1 through 4. So, in that sense, it was just kind of run-of-the-mill, but there's nothing to complain about, so.
Okay, so Mike, I would give it a star. That's probably where I would definitely give it a star, is just because of the fact that when you look up close to them, close enough, you can actually see them. You can see what they look like. You can see how they are and everything like that. And so I will definitely give it a third star for that very reason. Be it that as it may, for a Sims game, it's probably like as Bales is saying, it's not spectacular, but if you look up close, it does look like the picture that you see on the little icon. It does look like them. It doesn't just look like stick figures, so I'm gonna give it a star. Okay, let's move on to controls, game controls, and I will start with you, Bales.
Righto. So, as a gamepad user, this game was frustrating. The menus were so hard to navigate, and I would frequently find myself exiting out of the navigation, trying to select something, or change into a different category, or I was trying to leave to the overworld, and I would get to the overworld, immediately press the wrong button, and end up back in the main menu. So, yeah, this one's and let's also add, it felt like the characters didn't really listen all that well to your controls. The only one that seemed to respond well was your evil genius, but I found that even when I had a second in command, they were a little difficult to control for some reason, and I don't know if that was just the one that I selected, if it was a facet of the one I selected, so I may be somewhere off on this, but it just seemed like it wasn't responding well to my commands. So I'm not going to give it a star on this one.
Okay. Bullhead, what about you?
I was keyboard and mouse, so I had a much smoother experience. But I mean, there were controls for a sim. I mean, they weren't overly complicated. They weren't super basic. They were just, I guess they were just there, right? And like they tell you what to do, and from my point, it was like easy to figure out and get through, which is fortunate that for someone who uses a controller, it was a bit of a pain. But I like from my experience, like I would still give it a star.
Okay.
Because they give you all the options you needed, and then like doing like all your tasks or like making things or moving things was pretty simple. So
All right.
it gets a good grade from me.
Okay. On my end, I'm going to show my little area of gameplay, because this was my facet of really what I hated the most about the game, and that was the fact the controls were hard for me. Every time I was trying to click, and I did quite a bit, as you can see. I played both sides. This game was like one of my favorites when it was the Evil Genius. This is Evil Genius 2. I was hoping it would be similar to Evil Genius. No. It was not. They had some similarities, some not so similar. In this case, she's right. Bailey's is 100% right. It was hard to control your players, your creatures. I did not have as much trouble with my second, but I had trouble with my security. I had trouble with clicking, and I'm showing you right now how hard it was to click. I tried to click on this person so many times, and I kept hitting the button, and it was the wrong button. I kept hitting it again, and I'd eventually keep getting the laser, and if I didn't get the laser by that time, I was kind of screwed, because I had 3 lasers. One was destroyed. I had this laser where after I was able to hit the point of where I was either wanting them to be captured or whatnot, that's when the guy who was standing there finally got involved. Else they would have gone right through without him moving, which was so annoying. It was very much too much micromanaging in that case. As far as the other controls were concerned, the others were just basic. They were fine. It was just that really, really, really annoyed me to no end. So, but as you can see, I'm about ready to do an interrogation. I destroyed a body, and I'm about ready to send this person in to take care of it. But here was another problem I had. Every time I hit that cage and try to click on it, I kept clicking on the cage. Yeah, I got to the stairs. I found out stairs were not in Genius 1 that I know of. Stairs was in this one. And it was hard to deal with. It was hard to understand. So, see, I kept having problems with that. I did finally figure out a way to get around it, but it took a while. And that's what I want to say about that. So, we're going to give no star from me for that. And we will go ahead and head into gameplay. This is where we talk about the tutorial, or we talk about how it was played, what you had to do, and stuff like that. For me, gameplay, the tutorial was way too long. And the sandbox, you could do anything you wanted, but you still had to go through everything, and it kind of made it impossible it kind of threw you off the main story. You basically could immediately be in trouble once you've gotten your layer up, and you were not able to get to the first floor until after that fact that you went through the story. So in terms of that, I had a problem with the game in the gameplay itself. So I'm not going to give it a star, but I'll go ahead and give Bailey's. What would you like to do?
So it's interesting that you mentioned the units in the last one, because I was going to include that in gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
You are supposed to apprehend these secret agents coming in to find out about your base, and it was so unresponsive. I mean, I would see the agents get off of their cruise ship, immediately mark them for detainment, and they would get all the way into my casino and into my gold room before, like, here we go, like, I would mark this person for detainment, and it just, it did not make sense to me why nobody would respond to it. There were a couple times I would have to actually send my evil genius all the way out to the bridge as they're trying to escape to the ship, and kill them on the bridge in front of civilians. Like, that's totally not ideal, but it's the only option I had because nothing else was working. And that kind of ruined the experience for me in a big way. Like, I enjoyed a little bit of the building aspect of things, setting your base up, but when you consider that they don't really explain the long-term ramifications of an agent getting out with information, it creates a sense of urgency, and when their mechanics don't work like you basically think they're supposed to, it ruins the whole experience of the game for you. And so it's definitely not getting a star from me on gameplay.
Okay. Bullhead.
Yeah, I had the same problem trying to like capture any of the agents coming through. Even when you can hit the what was like a panic button, a siren button, like an alert button, and it like it's gonna like make people like, hey, you know, like, hey, someone's in here. But I think I had like an agent come in and start just killing regular workers, and at the end of the day, like, I couldn't get them with the guards, and I had like the regular workers just fight, and ended up killing one of the agents and things like that, and it was pretty annoying. As for like the building, it's alright. I get anal about things like that, and I want to like look up optimal things to do and optimal ways to build and see what works fine. But like in general, I'm not good at that, so I feel like my bases are kind of lacking compared to like what you would normally want to build. But I think the only thing I saw a video of it. I think the only aspect I liked was how creative you can get with the traps.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've seen videos online of like people like making these like creative, cool and fun traps when agents come in, but I didn't get far enough to like unlock that stuff. But I still wouldn't like I wouldn't give it a star either.
Okay.
Just at the end of the day, it it irked me more than it had me having fun.
Yeah. To tell you, Bailey's, what would have happened if you would have let your guy get on the boat? You would end up having an army come at you.
Fun.
Yeah. So, and then you would have more and more agents or a full army of like 6 to 8 come at you. So it was not going to be fun.
Good to know.
All right. Moving on. Let's go ahead and talk about ingenuity. This is where we talk about what was different about this game, what we liked about this game that was make it special and all that. I will go ahead this time with Bullhead start us off.
I don't think it brought anything new to the table, to tell you the truth. It's like your typical base building like simulation game, right? It's just this flavor of coffee is you're an evil genius and like not something else. So I don't think it brought anything like cool. At least anything that I would remember to the table that was new or like amazing. But like the gameplay wasn't bad. It was alright. I still kind of like enjoyed it, like just making rooms or like trying to think of oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Layouts. Like I was gonna say blueprints, but it's not blueprints. But like thinking of like base layouts and stuff like that, I thought was cool. I didn't think it was anything special, or they didn't do nothing groundbreaking. I don't believe. So that's all I can really put my input on about it. Sadly.
Okay. I liked the aspect that it was a cool and a mastermind, but it reminded me a lot of Dungeons 3 and Dungeon Keeper kind of type games. I guess that's probably why I like it. I don't know. But in terms of, I guess my biggest problem is looking at this, hey, if I never had played Evil Genius 1, would this be still something cool and exciting? Or what? And by looking at it that way, if I never would have played Evil Genius 1, I probably still would have liked it. So I'm going to give it a star. Because I do think it had something to come to the table. But it also, it's kind of in between. Would I give it a star? Would I not? I'm going to give it a star. But you're right. It probably is close to not getting one. It's really off. Not as good as I thought it would be compared to this genre type of game. And I thought it would be. Because I was thinking, Evil Genius 2? Awesome! Let's do it! And I've actually had a letdown. So that's how I'll go with that. So I will definitely give it a star though, but it's on the edge. Bailey.
I will say that I really enjoyed playing as the bad person. You really only get that option in so very select few games. In fact, the only one that I've played probably through is the Fable series, and I always enjoyed the option to become evil, and I have on several occasions just gone in and slaughtered the whole town, mostly just to buy up their properties, but that's beside the point. I think the most redeemable factor it had in its ingenuity was its sense of humor.
Oh, yes.
I don't remember the exact interaction, but it kind of went something like my mastermind was looking for a second in command, and one of her henchmen was like, well, can I be your second in command? And she said something along the lines of, you, my second in command, I barely trust you with a stapler. And that just, it really made me laugh. Like, I was laughing on stream because of that line, because it was unexpected and funny. And,
I think
you know,
Bullhead's
there
clip
are-
has something like that.
just so much of the game is just our leaders are so sarcastic and enjoyable to just read their lines. They have such a great sense of humor. So bringing probably one of the best sense of humors to the table that I've seen in a game in a long time, I'm going to give it a star just for that.
Okay, I'll give it a star. Alrighty. Yep, here. Don't give me instruction. The instruction, he already starts doing that.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to play this game, is because in Evil Genius, it was freaking hilarious. In Evil Genius 2, it was still hilarious. However, I think they fell short in one spot. In Evil Genius, and the only reason why I know this and they don't is because I played both. In Evil Genius, when the masterminds came to the table, they actually talked, and they would say things at the table, and you would be able to hear what they were spattering about. In Evil Genius 2, when I had my investors come in, they were there, I looked at it, they were doing nothing. A few minutes later, I got this message saying, "You're done." I'm like, no! I want to see the story! So, yeah. Alright, guys. We are at overall stars. I'm going to start with Bailey.
Yeah, I'm not even going to go into depth on this one. I'm just not giving it the star. There's no replay value, so.
Okay. Bullhead.
Yeah, no. I'm not gonna. This wasn't as enjoyable as our other review.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to pick between Slime Rancher and this, I'd end up playing Slime Rancher again, to tell you the truth. I mean, I like the comedy aspect of the game, but like being funny can only carry you so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whether it's in funny animations or funny dialogue or things like that, because that's not all the game. Well, it's not all the game is about, but I did enjoy that it had like. I did enjoy it had like that little comedic thing to it, but other than that, like it wouldn't get an overall star from me, sadly.
You know what? I'm going to agree with both of you. Even after playing Evil Genius and Evil Genius 2, it's not going to get a star from me. I was very, very disappointed. Especially when they took out some of the aspects of what I liked in Evil Genius. Devs, if you're listening to this, go back and watch Evil Genius and play your game, Evil Genius, and then make Evil Genius 3 if you want. Because, I'm sorry. No. Unfortunately, that's how I feel about that. So, in all, guys, would you say this is a stud or a dud?
I'm going with dud on this one.
Oh, totally a dud.
I will agree. It was a dud. So, unfortunately, guys, we did review this game, The Evil Genius 2, and discovered that we had a dud. Anyway, it has been fun though, and I still want to do this again with you guys. What are we playing next week?
I believe it was
we are-
Bullhead's choice.
Yeah, we are playing. Should have picked it out. It's called Skull. I don't have to open my Game Pass real quick.
As
Oh,
in,
that's
like,
another thing I wanted to mention. Like, without Game Pass, Evil Genius 2 is pretty expensive.
Oh yeah, it's $49.99.
Yeah, from like what we experience and things like that. It just hit me because I opened up the app, but like it's really without Game Pass and playing it like there, the monthly thing. Yeah, $40.
$40 for a
31.
dud.
$31 if you buy it through Game Pass.
Yeah. Or you can just get it from Game Pass, play it for just play it for however long they have it up there. But, it's $40, $49.99 for a game. Like this one?
That's
Nah.
pretty steep.
Yeah.
So I really wouldn't recommend it. But I did choose a game for us to play, and that is Skull the Hero Slayer. And it's basically a fast-paced action roguelike game. That's more, it's like a Metroidvania type game, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It has a cool sprite art style that caught my attention. So I think it'd be something interesting to play.
So this is not a platformer? Or is it?
There's platforms you go on and stuff like that, but it's
I thought it was a platformer, I'm sorry.
it's a mix, right? Like it's not in general, I guess a platformer, but it's an action, like fast-paced roguelike game that I think is going to be pretty interesting.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to be doing that. Guys, we have decided to possibly go every 2 weeks because most games seem to need that second week.
Right. Especially with, like, I absolutely have to stream Fire Emblems on Friday if I'm streaming. It's my go-to game. It's what I enjoy streaming. So if we run 1 week, that gives me 2 days of streaming at best to play it. And I don't always know that I'm going to be streaming all 3 days a week.
Right. Even if we play it off stream, we still need a little bit more time than what we were thinking. So every 2 weeks we will be having a NRT, Nexus Roundtable. And if that's good for you all, I think that's what we'll do. And the next one will be Skull. Alright, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bales. Thank you, Bullhead, for being here. And thank you for all the interesting opinions that I'm glad we played like this, because we actually played well together, even though we may not agree the same way. We can be able to talk about things in an adult manner, and I appreciate that. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time, this has been the Nexus Roundtable with Karsa KKWX, Bales 115, and it's Bullhead. We'll see you on Twitch anytime now if you'd like to join us. Otherwise, please subscribe, like, comment, and all of the above. And we will see you next time. Goodbye!